I think a lot of it is going to be decided upon this big battle in the middle of the ground with Will Minson and Nick Natanui. And they're head-to-head at the opener again.
And Natanui close to the line as the second half gets underway. He's trying to come in, and now he flicks back. Minson will get a good run on it, but Natanui, look at that, that's perfect. Out into the path of Shuey, who throws it quickly onto the left boot and gets plenty on it. Kennedy tries to keep it down in front. Talia smothers a good one. Kennedy swung in the tackle. McRae trapped it, gave it to Wood. Murphy uses the ball to Morris.
Got to get some separation between those two big blokes.
Yeah, you know how they'll do that in about 10 minutes' time. I think Big Redpath will be subbed out of the game and Jared Grant will be in. But yep, certainly moving forward, got to get the coordination up and going.
Natanui, that's a clever handball. Gaff spins around quickly, gets it to the top of the square. Big punch from Roughhead, strong, that's the way you do it.
Didn't really give him a chance though, had a bit of dip on it, that kick. Lysette wants it in the air so he can launch.
So Natanui and Minson, now Shuey was just peeling off the back, hoping for the run on where Pritis went to. So they opened up the space behind Natanui, and that's exactly where they knew it was going. Again, Natanui to a man on the move, this time Lacroix. He's got it, somehow it fell in his arms. Now Pritis, they're going back, stop-start. Nelson's kick, only as far as Talia.
Well, he had to pull it a bit because it was going to be smothered, so he's got a pretty sharp mind, has Nelson.
That's a good kick on the way out. Found Roughhead. Now Jong, he thinks about taking on Lysette, successful. There's a bit of pressure still. Cramery. Boyd, they'll just need to find a target here, the Dogs. Over the top of Jong. In turn now for Marston on the way back for the Eagles. Shepherd becoming more and more important for the Eagles. Oh, a little bit too much over the top of Rosa. He might get a second chance. Here comes Jared's man, Jake Stringer. And he's going to steal it off him. Shuey goes down and they hold it up.
As well held on by Shuey.
Well, we said earlier, if you live by the sword, you can die by the sword. That kick across ground was almost frightful.
Well picked up Gaff. Marston, it's a floater. First two at Talia. Doesn't get a kind bounce, doesn't get two bounces. In the end, he does what the only thing he could do is see it over the line.
Yeah, pretty content to get it over the line, wait for some support.
Well, Minson's got to start to curtail the Natanui influence at these stoppages. He's getting his arm way too free and directing it too easily.
And this time, Selwood was in front. Big pack. Staying down Kennedy. Throws it on the boot. McGinnity, still going McGinnity. Handball over the top. Cripps will have to be quick.
Oh, goal.
He is. 3 goals to Cripps, and that one almost out of midair.
Great. Cripps just thought his way through that one, and in midair has just thrown it on the slipper and just got it through in the nick of time. But good work here to get the ball inboard from McGinnity. And here he goes.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That is very good. Now, who did we see that at Patterson Stadium a number of years ago?
Wells do it once.
Wells, Daniel Wells, Jackie Chan.
It was a fantastic goal. Well done from Cripps.
That's terrific work. To get that, I mean, McGinnity to keep it in right on the boundary, and then for Cripps to manage to kick that in midair. And they get the lead back just through individual skill. First goal for the second half to the Eagles.
Man on man to defence now for the Eagles. Dogs have manned them up. That's
high. Pritis will win it. Against Minson, and off they go. They break quickly. Gaff. Lysette's coming. And staying down again, McGinnity. And keeps it in once more. Kept it alive. McRae down low. Lamb, quick hands, lightning to Lysette. Rosa, one way, then the other, and a high floating ball. Out comes Kennedy. Lacroix was there, but it falls for the Bulldogs. Not a lot to kick to here. Closing speed of Natanui was impressive. He kept it going for the Eagles. Lacroix pulls the kick. Kennedy, that's a goal assist, Natanui.
What about Nick Natanui? His closing speed there to get across and smother was amazing.
Won't go on the stat sheet, but unless you see Nick Natanui on a regular basis, sometimes I think you miss out on the stuff he does off the ball and his influence. He just creates chaos, Natanui, and it's chaos that the Eagles mids generally cash in on.
Kennedy for his second, 2 in a row for the West Coast Eagles, and just like the second quarter, they start well.
You talk about offensive work, but it was the defensive pressure, as you said, from Nick Natanui there. His closing speed over that 20 or 30 metres, not to totally smother the ball, but to get close, and just gets a hand on it. Now, the difference there is a smothered kick that goes 5 metres to one that's outside the forward 50 and probably a boundary throw-in. Ended up quick transition out to Josh Kennedy. It kicks a nice goal. Fantastic work from Big Rucker.
So that's 3 quarters in a row where the West Coast have come out the best and kicked the first couple of goals. And now it's up to the Bulldogs to work their way back into the game. 8 points the margin. Natanui looking real dangerous.
And he's just totally dominated this opening 5 or 6 minutes.
And again from the free kick, they're allowed to move quickly. Dom Sheed pops it up high. Kennedy, Natanui's there. Where did he come from? Cripps already has 3 goals, cut off by Jong. Shuey's got a couple. He looks for the free kick. He's good at it.
He's got to lock it in now, the Eagles.
Yep.
This is where the Bulldogs need to help Will Minson out here. They need a third-up jumper to get over the top of Natanui. He's starting to dominate.
Lamb through. Got it out quickly. Rosa squeezes the kick. And another behind.
Let's see if the Bulldogs can put together a defensive thrust here that gets pressure off them. They've got to get the ball down the other end, and you'd like to see Murphy play on. It's one of his favourite tricks, and he does it well.
It's not his best kick though, Jared, because he's put it onto the chest of McGovern.
The players everywhere short.
And slipping over and just getting it before Cripps could get it was McRae coming through, and now Cripps is going to line up for goal number 4.
Yeah, McRae just came in to make the spoil, but as he planted the left foot, he just slipped, and things starting to really go the West Coast Eagles' way now.
But the game has been played in bursts, and when you're having a burst, you've just got to make the most of your opportunities. This has got to go through. The Dogs will come again. This one has to go through to extend their lead.
This for a career high 4 goals, kicks truly, and the Eagles have got another burst.
Totally dominating this quarter, 36 possessions to 16. The inside 50s, it's just a one-way street at the present time. It's 7 inside 50s to none. They just have not been able to get the ball forward of centre at this stage.
Absolutely spot on, Jared. And you spoke about the differential. Time in forward half is being dominated by the West Coast Eagles. Time in the forward half in the first half was 63% to the Western Bulldogs.
So 2 for this quarter already to Jamie Cripps. He kicked 3 last year against Essendon, against Collingwood, now with 4. But importantly for his team, it's back to that 15-point margin, which it was in the third quarter before the Bulldogs got something going. But there's real pressure here for the home team. That time Minson wins it. That time Jong runs onto it, and he kicks it low towards Boyd. Good spoil McGovern. Numbers needed for the West Coast, and they have them. Rosa to Wellingham. Runs it to the defensive 50, hooks it back, hooks it too far in fact. 3-on-1, Johannesson, Bontempelli wants to bring a couple of players into it, not yet, decides to launch it long. And there's McGovern. Barry Hall's man.
He is a ripper, this kid.
He's an absolute star in the making. Had a few issues pre-season 18 months ago, but it's worked hard since.
Kramery just couldn't find Sheed there, just couldn't get the jumper, so now Lyset's running.
Kennedy out the back.
And Lyset's going to say, I keep going away from you, Will Minson, you won't catch me, and you certainly won't catch Shuey. They've overdone it a little bit, they've still got numbers though. McGinnity wanted the free kick, umpire said, no, you felt for it. Shuey, Hearn, Sheed up high, Lamb is there, So too the fist of Talia. Rough head, couldn't get the handball away. It's held to him. Now it falls out for Boyd. Bontempelli, quick hands. Talia the clearing kick, and he's got relief in Honeychurch, and he needs a runner, and he gets one towards the wing. Dalhouse, an unkind bounce for him. We've got to keep their feet here. Nelson has Dalhouse, but Dalhouse got it on to Boyd. His only option is to kick it long over the top and hope that his man can go back and get it in Redpath, and he couldn't.
Great passage of play by both clubs. The Bulldogs work really hard under enormous pressure. I like the former Nelson. He's doing really well.
Yeah, he looks like a handy player.
Yep.
Very handy player out of Geelong Falcons. A few good players come out of that club.
Oh, yeah. Bontempelli found it, hooked it, and goaled it. That's what the people come to see, the Bont.
And it was just way too easy that time, wasn't it?
Well, it was, but he reads the play well. When he gets an opportunity, he certainly executes. And we've seen that a number of times in his short career. See him here, both the ruckmen are held back off the ball. Bontempelli in the front there, takes possession and snaps beautifully. Very similar snap to against Melbourne here last year when he tore the game away from Melbourne, kicking 2 last quarter goals on James Frawley.
Great use of the body. Yeah, Luke Shuey will learn from that one. The big Bont. He just edged him away from the ball, opened up his left leg, secured a goal. And I think the deja vu scenario is about to repeat itself.
Well, they should get the next 2 goals, shouldn't they?
Well, they got that last centre clearance, the Western Bulldogs, because Nat Nui wasn't in the centre. He's back there and they get another clearance.
And that's a good mark by Boyd. He had to wait.
It's an accidental 50, but it's 50. Should be.
It's not paid, so you have to ask yourself, how did the ball leave his hands?
I think it's just a little late.
But anyway, he's just gone short to Roughhead, so well closed down here by West Coast. Hoping for the error, but McRae has it. A little chip over to Picken. Haven't seen a lot of this, have we?
The slower movement for the Dogs.
Yeah, haven't seen a lot from either side.
Well, the tempo playing, and sometimes it is best to just slow things up.
He's going to kick to a pack. Redpath, Nat Nui, all the big men are there. Redpath almost stole it. He did.
Well played.
Great work by the big man. He probably didn't want it back from Cramery, but he got it. Now a chance for Jong. He's clear. And he kicks it into the space. And he wants a couple to run under it. Stringer gets there first. Palms off. Can't get boot to ball. That's holding the ball. First action was the fend off.
Yep.
Jared was out of the chair. The X Factor got involved. Just couldn't quite get along with the boot. But an exciting player. Been impressed with his defensive play as well. But here, just the fend tried to get away from big Scotty Lysett, but couldn't.
He might have been able to just whip that first handball off.
Butler with a long kick, defensive position, was hoping for Kennedy, throwing it well and kicking forward, but it's got to come back quickly for the Bulldogs.
They've got to be better than that. The hack kick forward.
Picken,
Nurture.
McRae.
Oh, look at even the supporters are yelling at his there.
Dixon, he's got a handoff to Johannesson. Now he's within range. Is he? Yes, he's true. And they get 2 in a row, the Bulldogs.
Got a feeling we've got a cliffhanger coming up here.
Probably the major issue on that occasion for the West Coast Eagles, their midfield and defence dropped very deep defence, and they allowed a number of players. You see here running into screen around the 50-metre arc. There's 2 and 3 Western Bulldogs players by themselves. Far too deep on that occasion from the West Coast defence. Very nice finish from Johannesson.
Doesn't kick a lot of goals. It's only his 6th goal, Jason Johannesson.
Nice finish, important finish. Breaker reply after the onslaught from the Eagles, kicking the first 3 goals of this term.
So if we're on cue, it's the Bulldogs' turn to get the next one again. Every quarter repeating itself at the moment, and certainly the pace of the game is still there. Look at that great work from Nat Nui. Shuey, Lamb attacked it brilliantly.
He got slaughtered by his own man.
Yep. Friendly fire. And now the Bulldogs on the way out. McRae starting to be the link man on the way out. But Nat Nui is the most dominant player on the ground at the moment. And there's a smother, and that's great work.
You're right, they've lost one clearance, I think, out of the centre in the last 10 minutes is when he went off.
Yep.
Baz, when do the Bulldogs draw the wild card and institute the substitute?
Yeah, I think it has to be pretty soon. I thought they would have done it when all the momentum was with West Coast Eagles, but well, the Doggies have fought back, but I reckon it'll be very, very soon. I think it'll be Redpath, unfortunately.
Prittis caught by McRae, but managed to get hands free and get it back to Butler. Quick hands, Selwood. If they get out of this, it'll be magnificent stuff. As look at the Bulldogs swarm them again. Wallace threw it on the boot. Playing in front is always a chance. Stringer. This time he managed to get free, and he hooks it round brilliantly over the back. Taken by Johannesson again. 2 in a row, and they are back in front.
He doesn't kick many goals, Matty, but he's kicked 2 in 30 seconds.
Yep.
Very nice piece of work, and good work again from Stringer to get quickly around off the mark and get it in deep. So that good work here, gets the ball up, swings inboard, and drives it long to the top of the goal square. More importantly, it's flat, so he can get over the back. And that's a very handy goal, and it's absolutely game on. 3 now to the Dogs.
2 in a row to Jason Johannesson. 3 in a row the Bulldogs. Margin restored back to 3 points. He's happy. He goes to the bench for a rest. And the Eagles get some momentum. Oh, the Bulldogs get the momentum back from the Eagles. Lycett in the ruck. And Will decides to take it himself. And Redpath came out. Couldn't take the chest mark. Shepherd, McGovern slices the kick out in front. It's a clever one because he knew the bounce might favour Selwood, and it does. And he hooks it back to a dangerous position. Collision. Murphy did okay, but numbers for the Eagles. Cripps, slung. Bontempelli has it. Redpath needs a runner. Or he bangs it long towards Stringer. Going back was Boyd. He got crunched. Stringer's trying to bust through and trying to give it off. Still going Stringer. Back. McRae can line up on his left. And he hooks it to the top of the square.
Oh, umpire did some shepherding, man.
Yeah, and away go the Eagles. And this could be real transition footy again. Wellingham. The long ball to Kennedy. He's got the sit. Over the back for Lamb. Didn't take it. Neither did Lacroix. Kennedy's got it now. Threw it on the boot. Or just laid it off to Lacroix, who handballs to Lamb. And he kicks his first goal in the AFL. The Eagles back in front.
Well, there's the transition. Just again, what we've seen so much from the West Coast Eagles today. Deep defence, the ball goes in here. Great spoil over the back of Boyd, who goes back with courage, but great body spoil.
That was a mark. He knocked his arm.
Come on, Gerald. And the umpire almost got in the road there, but here's the rebound. Wellingham runs and drives the ball long towards Josh Kennedy, and some nice work here. He pulls this kick to hit Lacroix.
Yeah, it's a great play.
Unselfish play there.
Tom Lamb's first goal, and why wouldn't he be thrilled? Came to the game a lot earlier than he probably expected. He gets the goal. Eagles back in front. What a game. What a transition once again from the West Coast. Minson, more confident when Nat Nui's not there. Dixon went without it. Marston didn't. Sheed ducked under the tackle. Gaff forced to kick quickly. Talia in a good position. Takes the mark.
Just needed.
Got a blood rule, I think. Talia will go from the ground.
Well, in a man-on-man situation, Lynchy, for the first time I can remember in this match, you look across the ground and essentially everybody is within 3 or 4 metres of their man.
And there's a bit of push and shove everywhere at the minute.
They're trying to release a player and get a block going so somebody can slide out to the side and get an easy chest mark. But it's been a great fight back by the Western Bulldogs on 3 occasions. This time the West Coast Eagles responded quickly.
And the tempo hasn't dropped off at all.
It has not dropped.
Boyd away quickly, and from that big stoppage managed to just pop it onto the chest of Murphy, who drills it low. A hand in there just before Dalhouse could get there. West Coast now to rebound once again. Marston had enough time. Left boot down the line. Spoil comes, but it goes over the back towards McGinnity, out of bounds.
And you can just see McGinnity, he doesn't care about getting the footy. He just wants Robert Murphy not to smell the leather. He's done a pretty good job after Murphy got away to a fly.
That might be where Talia copped the elbow that forced him from the ground with the blood rule. Lysette, well, he tapped it straight towards Mitch Wallace.
Good hands, Wallace.
McRae did well to fight back into it. Bontempelli sliced through and releases John, who's got speed, can keep going.
They got the overlap. They should get a scoring opportunity.
He can kick it to the top of the square. Well kicked, well spotted. This time it's not Stringer, it's Cremery.
Really good kick from Lim John to get it in, and good body work from Cremery. Just easy his opponent under the ball, far too easy actually. But really good build-up. Good to see Bontempelli once again getting involved at the start of that chain.
Well, we know Cremery's a goal kicker. 37 goals last year, directly in front, 30 metres out. Not a difficult kick. Put the doggies back in front.
Well, he's had no footy in the lead-up, so there was always going to be more difficult for him than others.
And that's on the back of a lot of the fatigue in the second half. I mean, all players will fatigue in their first premiership game.
And that's why I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one that gets subbed out for that reason.
Yeah, okay.
Well, long ball up. And big catch by Wellingham. He had to sit. Gave it quickly to Lacroix. He tumbles it forward. Standing in the way, Johannessen's had a pretty good third quarter. He's kicked a couple of goals and now he just pops it over the top to Boyd. Here comes big Tom Boyd. Competed well. Numbers, Bulldogs, Dixon. Still going, open goal square, spots it, keeps running and drills it. That's a finish for you.
We'll see a better game this year, Lynchie, where we're going to be entertained. It's round one.
Oh, it's round one. That's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
This was good for Tom Boyd. I really like this.
Yep.
He's not going to take May in the air all the time, but if he just competes, he actually had the ball ripped out of his hands again. It's happened a few times from his teammates. But this is an excellent finish.
Yeah, great finish. You're spot on with Boyd. That's the absolute major focus for Boyd. He's not going to take big marks for a year or so.
Yeah, Boyd did well, but in the end it was better for the team that Goods just paddled it out to Dixon. And Dixon, that is a class finish. Tory Dixon, just the 7 disposals. His first goal, Bulldogs. Back in front by 4. They led by 5 at quarter time, 4 at half time.
We spoke at half time about some of the key players for each team. Shannon Hearn, he's a real key player for the West Coast Eagles. He's only had 1 handball in this game. Liam Picken is putting a lot of time into him, shutting right down.
Yeah, Marston with 24 disposals, Prentice with 21, and on the other side, Matty Boyd with 27. And here's Bontempelli off the outside of the boot. Spoil comes from Shepherd. It's a strong one. Nelson, I should say.
Well, it is interesting, Lynchy, you pointed it out, but Liam Picken is desperately trying to get on to Shannon Hearn, but Shannon Hearn is desperately trying to get on to Jack Redpath. So at centre bounces, there's a dance going on.
Yeah. So he's going over there now.
Yeah.
That time Minson got it down in front, but first to it is Shuey. Handball away towards the line. They're going again.
So exactly as you were saying, Hearn's trying to get away from Picken, and there we go. Picken just wanders over, puts time into one of the real destructive players across half-back in the competition.
So a little flick there from Minson. He wants to put it behind towards Dixon, but he didn't get there. Sheed falls for Bontempelli. Handball was too fierce, but he follows up. Here's Naitanui. Lost his legs. He'll get a free kick.
Dogs fans aren't happy, but
not happy at all.
Not a lot to argue about there, I thought.
Too much height on the kick. Love the way Lamb goes at it, though.
It does.
It's a good height at 192 centimetres. He was number 2 in the draft combine tested for the 3K time trial at 9:45. Gets a reasonable clip. And 3rd in the beep test. A really good athlete.
Yeah, really jumps hard at the footy in the air. Wallace, he might win the free there. He does, and listen to the fans.
That's what you want from your fans. Passionately get involved, and they've got a lot to support today.
Free kicks, 14 apiece. Have hardly noticed the umpires, which is good. Wallace kicks it, so Redpath's going to have a jump at it. The big man, he's getting his hands on it. He's got to get one to stick.
That's a great kick.
That's a great kick. Off the bench comes Cremery. Just misses Don Shee, but he is the mark. He wants to move quickly. The danger man, Hearn. Here they go. Transition. Lacroix peels off. Wants it to the goal square. Kennedy decides to go shorter. Gaff. He'll take a shot at goal.
Good hard running from all Eagles players there from behind the ball. but ends up with Gaff with an opportunity to pinch back the lead.
And importantly, Shannon Hearn getting involved.
Yeah.
Finally got away from his 2 opponents. He's trying to get to Redpath, but Picken just couldn't go with him on that occasion.
Really improved as a player last year, Andrew Gaff. His goal kicking improved as well. Here's a genuine opportunity early in the season.
45 metres out. Strikes it perfectly. The lead changes once again. Eagles in front.
Well, there was a lot invested by the Eagles with a high draft pick on Andrew Gaff. And I think he's improved year on year. He's much more of a ball winner now. He's a hard runner, always has been. His kicking, I think, is improved. He's just a genuine top-class midfielder.
And he's one of those really important players because he's a link player. He can break the lines, and he was rewarded with 4th place in the best and fairest last year for the Eagles.
That's a quality finish, and just the 7th kick for Gaff. So, what you said is right, Jared. A few years ago, he'd be 16 and 1.
Yep.
So he's getting inside and playing inside and out. Nat Nui off to Sheed. Pritis felt for it.
That time
on the second.
He got the second attempt.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
I think Matty Pritis actually dived forward a bit too much on the first occasion. Umpire was all over it.
Lays it off to Butler. In turn, wider to Rosa. Gaff directing traffic, and Rosa decides to go back to Butler. And trying to work it to the other side.
Corridor might open up here with Shepherd with an aggressive kick.
Wellingham.
did well though, the Bulldogs. They had the overlap, but they closed it down quickly there, the Western Bulldogs.
That's the important side of the defensive play, that transition to push the zone across. They've got all their numbers in place at the moment, but you've got to really transition with the offensive team.
So do they pull the trigger with the kick in the middle? No, they don't. They're staying safe.
They go down the line to Lysette. They back him in to at least push it down towards Sheed. It took a long time to get rid of it.
And only just got rid of it. It was almost a throw.
Might be in the back too. Dogs won't be happy.
It's Gaff again.
Just outside his range.
Yeah, I think so. He's going to have to kick from 55.
This is the one where Nat Nui should pull out of this contest. Get 30 metres back so he's got to jump. His run and jump is his great strength.
Exactly. You don't want him sitting under the ball.
Sets it up so he can jump at it. It's going to go very short. Spoiled down to Dixon.
That was a horrible kick because it opened up for the rebound.
Ball stringer.
Too short.
Murphy almost ran into the umpire. He doesn't have a lot of options here. It's got to be precision kicking from him.
Boundary line will do for the Dogs.
Oh, it doesn't matter if Cranberry marks it brilliantly, but he's got no one to kick to. Waits, back to Johannison. There's players in the middle. He ignores that. Kicks it long towards Goods. One hand to it. Now recovers. Couldn't get boot to ball. Holding the ball, and away go the Eagles. The West Coast Eagles, I should say.
We knew what you meant, Matty.
Oh, that is a shocker too. Pressure starting to tell, fatigue starting to tell.
Dixon has a man in the goal square. Redpath. Oh, that's outstanding from McGovern.
That's why that man was the #1 contested marker with just 13 games under his belt last year for the Eagles. Very good work. Didn't get pushed out under the ball. Perfect opportunity for Redpath to ease him under the ball and take an easy grab.
The man crush is working, Barry. He's doing everything right for you.
I'm loving him with every possession. I think it's a good lesson for Redpath as well. There's been 3 or 4 occasions where he just had to clunk the ball. That could cost him games in the end of the day. Good young player, good basis, but he needs to take those.
Gaff. His kick wide. Now, we've got just under 2 minutes remaining. Both sides, Jared, have decided to, the Bulldogs have decided to leave their sub. Because of the tempo of the game, wait for the last quarter?
Probably. I mean, that's the only way you can interpret it. They haven't got an injury that they need to adjust. They're reasonably happy.
Rosa, under pressure. Tom Boyd, McGovern, pushed it out towards Rosa. He wants the boundary.
That's the thing.
Although I'm not sure he agrees.
No, he doesn't agree, but there's not too much going wrong for the Bulldogs at the moment. So no need to pull the trigger just yet.
Well, if they take Redpath off, they lose structure. They get extra mobility, but they lose their structure.
Yeah, it'll be a different makeup, that's right. I think he's still the one to go, but they're just holding off.
Inside the Bulldogs forward 50, this is what we've seen all night. The Bulldogs somehow work it out and find their way to goal. It's the Eagles by 2 points, though. Bontempelli out to Jong. He just lost his footing.
I've seen Bontempelli on a number of occasions now, whether it's through the middle of the ground or forward 50 stoppages as a third up jumper.
Does it well.
West Coast have to be aware of that. They've got to stop the run. Jared Grant just warming up.
There's the Bont. McRae, McGovern, Cripps, and that's well played by the Eagles. They didn't panic there and they cleared it.
This is a great battle, this one.
Murphy out in front of McGinnity. Got it by hand. A little bit high on the handball. Pickett is barreled by Hearn. Take that, he says.
Little square up, I would have thought.
Yep.
Liam Pickett's done a good job in this quarter on Hearn. So I just thought square one up there. Nice opportunity. Couldn't go.
Murphy to the bench for a rest. It was hard running. Falls short for Minson, the throw in. Wallace, McRae, kept it alive. Hearn doesn't.
And Matt Prittis just stretching the calves. Looks like he might have been starting to cramp.
40 seconds remaining, time for both teams to get a late one and take some momentum into the three-quarter time huddle. Dowhouse in front, John, and talk about the momentum and talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Well, they won't be happy with their clearance work there, the Eagles. That was just way too easy. One out the back, quick kick around the corner.
So there was another stoppage without Nat Nui there, and that's the one. They're trying to rest him on the ground by pushing him forward, but they're getting dominated by Minson in these sort of situations. Now, he nullified that, but he got it down to his teammate on that occasion in Dalhouse.
Clock ticks down. Should be the last kick of the quarter. Lin Jong to put the Bulldogs back in front. Runs out wide, gets it up high. Won't be a goal. It won't be a point. It's hit the boundary post, I'd say, so it's out of bounds. So not to be for Lin Jong. But this terrific contest continues. Hasn't been more than a kick at it in all three changes, but this time it's the West Coast Eagles that have the slight lead. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a magnificent last quarter.